Man, it feels like so long since we've actually done a new story on the channel. Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time with JB Gunner. Guys, today what we're going to be looking into is the Anna Walshe story. Now, this is a story a lot of other channels are already covering. They're actually far more ahead than I am when it comes to this case. But then again, it's also a story I kind of feel is still being overlooked because we're all still doing the Idaho 4, and I get all of that. Guys, she's missing, and the husband has now been arrested. We'll take a look at this. I'll tell you pretty much the entire timeline, everything that I know, every story I could find at this very moment. Hopefully we can catch ourselves up here together. This will be the first video on the Anna Walshe story. I don't know if there's going to be too many more. Depends on what goes down with the husband. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go.
Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is Crime Time. Before we get started with this crazy new tale, I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody that supports this channel, regardless of the method you choose, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Yes, I do got a new Cash App, finally. Regardless of the method you choose, truth is, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do without you, the Gun Squad. Thank you guys for everything you do. And if you too find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below and support the channel. Join the Gun Squad today. With all that being said, while you're down there, by the way, if you're not a snowflake, feel free to check out my political channel, my other live streaming channel, gaming channel, whatever. That way we can stay in touch if something happens to this channel or whatever, right? All right, let's get into this story because this is kind of, oh shit, where's my story? This is a pretty crazy story in itself. Damn it, where am I at? This is what I get. This is what I get. There we go. So we're going to be talking about a missing woman. This is a missing Connecticut woman, I believe. Is that where she's from? I believe Massachusetts. Excuse me, Massachusetts. She's 39-year-old Anna Walshe. Her husband, age 48. Her husband, Brian Walshe. He's actually an old swindler when it comes to paintings and things of this nature, but he's actually been arrested, and we'll talk a little bit about this, and we'll try to put together all the pieces, but let me give you the timeline as we have it right now. January 1st, between 4 and 5 a.m., Walshe left her Cohasset home early morning, Cohasset home early morning on New Year's Day. This is when she went missing, is New Year's Day. Most likely between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. while her family was sleeping. Now, I'm curious about this, right? What was she going out to do? Like, was she jogging? I mean, she looks pretty fit, so I'd be willing to believe that's definitely a possibility. Not quite sure. Obviously, I don't know what happened here at this moment. There's no video images of her leaving, however, and security cameras haven't picked up images of her as of Saturday afternoon, this past Saturday. Her plan was to take a rideshare to the airport for a flight to Washington, D.C. Okay, that's the plan, where she works for the real estate company Tishman Speyer. Walsh's flight to D.C. was originally booked for January 3rd, but police said during a press conference earlier this week that she left earlier for some type of emergency at work, some type of emergency. There's no evidence that Walshe boarded any flight or made it to the airport, Quigley said this week. And I'm going to be honest with you. Let me go ahead and just say this right off the jump. Let me go ahead and get the ugly part out. If this was my wife, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. If this was my wife and she wasn't supposed to leave to go to D.C. till the 3rd, and on New Year's Day, this is right after New Year's Eve, between 3 and 5, she's like, baby, I got to go in the middle of the, you see what I'm saying? In the middle of the night. I'd be like, no, the fuck you ain't. But that's just me. But then again, I don't really have women that have jobs like that. They got to cook sandwiches, suck dick. That's just the way it works. You know, it can't be who the fuck's gonna cook sandwiches and suck dick if you're working off in D.C. That's just kind of the way I look at things. So things still need done, right? But anyway, back to this. So there was no evidence that she even boarded the flight, any flight, or made it to the airport, Quigley said this week. She is a beautiful woman, definitely a beautiful woman. January 4th, Walshe's husband and her employer reported her missing to Cohasset. Now remember, that was January 1st. So it wasn't until January 4th, her husband and her employer reported her missing to the Cohasset police. Walsh's husband, her employer, and friends have been cooperative in what quickly described as a missing person case that currently has no evidence of foul play, currently, at the moment of this. Cohasset Police, this is on January 6th, teamed up with the outside agencies, including the Massachusetts State Police, to search a wooded area near Walsh's home and set up a staging area along Route 3A. So they began searching the woods by the home, as you can see here. January 6th, 2:14 p.m. 2 alarm fire. Now, this is when shit gets interesting. Keep in mind, she's missing all this time. We'll get back to the timeline. We'll get back to the January 6th timeline. We'll get back to all of this. In the meantime, here's what we're going to do. This is pretty much when it first happened. A police search for Cohasset mother last seen on New Year's Day. Let's take a listen to the news.
Tonight here at 11 o'clock, a New Year's disappearance in Cohasset. Loved ones of Anna Walshe haven't heard from her since shortly after the clock struck midnight. WBZ's Julie McDonald is live in Cohasset with more on this developing story. Julie.
Well, David, Anna Walshe
That's
lives
low.
here in Cohasset with her family, but she spends the work weeks in Washington, D.C. Her husband was not able to speak with me tonight as he cared for their 3 young children, but friends and family near and far are growing desperate for her
That's a
safe
weird
return.
thing. That's a weird thing, and I'm sorry. I don't give a shit how fine you are. The work weeks in Washington, D.C. So hold on, whoa. I got a wife this beautiful. I'm just throwing this out there, okay? Take this how you want it. I got a wife this beautiful and I only get to fuck her and be with her on the weekends because she has a job? No fucking way. That's just me. No fucking way. And listen, I don't even believe people are faithful in that scenario, to be perfectly honest. First of all, you better not leave my dick just laying around here untouched for a whole week. What the hell is wrong with you? Second of all, like, why would anybody want this marriage? Like, how much money can they possibly make that would be worth this? Just see you on the weekends. I've never understood things like this. Maybe I'm just different than a lot of you guys.
Anything and everything, like turning the world over to find her.
Concern is growing from Cohasset to the nation's capital over the whereabouts and well-being of Anna Walshe. She works as a commercial real estate executive in D.C., but her greatest passion and priority, her young sons in Massachusetts.
And just a loving wife and mother to, she always says, 3 beautiful boys.
Police say the 39-year-old was last seen at her home in Cohasset shortly after midnight Sunday.
Damn.
Happy New Year messages were never returned.
That was the last text that went through. Everything else has not been delivered. Yeah, I found it a little funny because Anna's very active on Instagram, on her posts and stories, and I didn't see a picture from her trip.
Officially, we realized yesterday that she was missing. You know, we suspected maybe something Tuesday.
Loved ones describe her as a vibrant, magnetic person, curious and caring. Her disappearance completely out of character.
Anna, we love you so much. We want you here. We are praying for your safety.
She's always been a survivor, and she's a survivor, and I love her to death, and she'll be okay.
Damn.
Now, investigators say that Anna stands about 5 feet 2 inches tall. She weighs 115 pounds and
That's a little
speaks
broad.
with an Eastern European accent.
Oh,
We
that's
do
sexy.
expect to
That's
learn
hot.
more from police at a press conference here in Cohasset tomorrow morning. Stay with CBS Boston for that. We're
All right.
in Cohasset tonight. I'm
All right, so that's the initial story, right? And we'll get back to all of this because there's so much different shit. Revealed husband of missing Massachusetts mom of 3, 39, who vanished at 4 a.m. on New Year's Day, is actually an art swindler who stole 2 Andy Warhol paintings from his friends as huge fire breaks out at the couple's old mansion. And that's exactly where I was going to take you to next, because this is actually a pretty big deal. If you go back to the timeline here, where we left off, 6 days later, on January 6th at 2:14, a 2-alarm fire broke out in Walsh's former home on 725 Jerusalem Road in Cohasset. Now, I'm going to be honest, a lot of people are looking at the husband and shit like this, but I'm going to, look, man, if somehow she left and was getting killed, and maybe people did a background, and like, what I mean is if people, like, let's say she got killed. Maybe somebody she worked with, another boyfriend, anything like that had killed her. She may have had love letters, anything like that. So he may have tried to go burn down her house, but when he pulled up maybe a background check to find out where she lived, it was the old house. You know what I'm saying? Something is not right about this. This feels like an evidence disposal situation. All 4 occupants, 3 adults and a young child, made it out safely, according to authorities. The cause of the fire is undetermined at this time and remains under investigation by the Office of the State Fire Marshal and Cohasset Police, though it does not appear to be suspicious, they say. The police said in a statement. I don't know about that. I mean, that's a pretty fucking suspicious thing. Tell me more.
As a fire burned through this home on Jerusalem Road, the strange circumstances raised more questions about a Cohasset mother who's been missing all week.
Highly strange. We'll get to the bottom of things.
Anna Walshe, her husband, and 3 young boys just moved out of the home last year. They're now living in another home on Route 3A, where investigators were taking pictures and searching the woods.
We are doing a full ground search in that area for any clues as to the whereabouts of Anna Walshe.
Police say Anna was last seen at the home on 3A early in the morning on New Year's Day. Friends say she had a flight to Washington, D.C., where she works during the week, but police say she never got on a plane.
Just a lot of unanswered questions, and I think fear of the unknown.
Her friends say the disappearance is highly unusual. Police say she wasn't reported missing until Wednesday.
That's crazy, right?
DC, and it's not abnormal for her to work long hours and not contact the home.
Investigators say her phone's been off since Sunday, and there's no evidence her credit card has been used. And the fire at the family's former home only adds to the mystery.
It does.
Look at everything here. Very strange coincidence.
It definitely does add to the mystery. There's definitely no doubt about that, right? I mean, this is why I don't necessarily, I'm not jumping off at the husband. Like, why would the husband, because they have to be connected. I don't believe they're not connected. Come on, man. 6 days after this broad ends up missing, probably dead, their old home gets, I'm going to be honest, like I said, maybe she had a lover at work, killed her, and maybe he thought to himself, damn, she's going to have love letters from me and shit, maybe at the house or something like that, that she had, but maybe he had never been to her house. And so when he tried to find her address, that's the address that came up. You know what I'm saying? Just my honest opinion when I'm looking at this. Now we go to January 7th. Cohasset Police, excuse me. Cohasset Police and the Massachusetts State Police resumed their search in multiple quadrants of the wooded area near Walsh's home. Investigators were seen going through the Walshe family pool and searching closer to the house, but police did not provide an official update about what or if anything was found. Before Saturday's searches began, Quigley told Fox and Friends this weekend, every hour we're getting more concerned for her well-being. That's what he said. We have more questions than answers. That's how a lot of these cases have been recently, right? Police have asked the public to send any information or tips to the Cohasset Police. Police describe Anna as 5'2" and 115 pounds. She has brown hair, brown eyes, an olive complexion, and is believed to speak with an Eastern European accent. She is one fine woman. One fine fucking woman, to be honest. Let's just call it what it is. So like I said, there was a house fire that broke out. That is insane. And then we learned that Brian Walshe pled guilty to selling 2 fake Andy Warhol paintings to a South Korean buyer for $80,000 in 2021. Desperate search for Massachusetts mother of 3, 39, who vanished at 4 a.m. on New Year's Day and failed to catch planned flight to Washington, D.C. Cops search woods near her home. These are the headlines coming in. Let me make sure you guys can see them. Yes. So we're just kind of catching up with some things. They searched the woods. Now the police have drained the pool at the home. Missing Massachusetts mom shared with her husband after she vanished at 4 a.m. on New Year's Day. As desperate search expands to the nearby woods, police have drained the pool at the missing mother Anna's home, and we're scouring the woods nearby in a desperate search to find her. Bizarre. This is crazy, right? So they have drained, God, she's hot, the pool. We saw this in the Quentin Simon case, as many of you know. There's the husband, who a lot of people have been, look, God, she is hot as fuck. A lot of people have been, blaming him, and in fact, he is currently arrested. Art swindler husband of missing Massachusetts mother of 3 is actually arrested. He's been arrested for misleading the police in the search for his wife. Brian Walshe has been charged with misleading police in their search for his wife, Anna Walshe, who vanished a week ago. On Saturday, the police drained his pool at the Walshe home and searched the nearby woods before calling off the ground search. This is interesting, right? They literally arrested the man. Let's check it out.
Still no sign of a missing mother of 3 from Cohasset. Anna Walshe vanished New Year's Day without a trace, and there continues to be more questions than answers about what happened to her. Now, her husband, 46-year-old Brian Walshe, is under arrest, charged with misleading the police investigating Anna's disappearance. Meanwhile, investigators executed a search warrant at the couple's home today, looking for anything that might help them get some answers. Good evening, everyone. Ken McLeod with you on this Sunday night. WBZ's Brandon Truitt spent the day in Cohasset and spoke to a friend of the Walshe family who says the entire situation is heartbreaking.
Just a day after state police told us they would not return to the wooded area near the Walshe family home, investigators showed up in force to the front yard. State police were seen with
they went to the front
yard before serving out a search warrant. Our cameras catching investigators removing.
I wonder what they have that gave them the search warrant, right? So they're not going back to the woods, but now they got shovels.
Boxes of evidence from inside the home. They did this for hours. The investigation into Anna Walshe's disappearance growing more intense. She's been missing for a week now. At the same time the search was happening here, the Norfolk District Attorney announced Anna's husband, 46-year-old Brian Walshe, had been arrested and charged with misleading investigators. This booking photo of Mr. Walshe is from a previous case. In 2018, the U.S. District Court charged him with fraud for selling 2 fake Andy Warhol paintings. Court paperwork states Walshe pled guilty to those charges. He had been on home confinement pending his sentencing. This comes as WBZ has obtained and verified audio of a voicemail left by Mr. Walshe for one of Anna's friends. The friend lives in Washington, D.C., where Anna works, and tells us the voicemail was left on Wednesday. That's the same day Anna was reported missing to police.
Damn.
Good afternoon. It's Brian Walshe. I hope all is going well. I was just reaching out to basically everybody I could. Anna hasn't been in touch for a few days. Do you know anyone that might have had contact with her? Calling everyone. So sorry to bother you. Sure, everything's fine.
This is absolutely heartbreaking.
Peter Kirby is a friend of the Walshe family and was with Brian as recently as Thursday, adding Anna and Brian consider 2023 to be their year. Kirby now contending with the developments in this case while supporting his close friend.
Our dear friend Brian is in this awful situation where he is terrified and heartbroken and, stuck in an endless loop of unknown.
No shit.
The internet decides he's the bad guy.
Yeah, no kid.
The WBZI team confirming that the Walshes' 3 young boys are now in the state's custody. Again, Brian Walshe is only charged with misleading investigators, not for her disappearance itself. He will be in court on Monday. The search for Anna continues. In Cohasset, Brandon Truitt, WBZ News.
All right, so the husband's arrested. Husband is definitely arrested. He's locked up. He's got a little bit of a pass. Now we got some issues here, because we now have more to the story, because blood has been found on a damaged knife in the Massachusetts house of missing. Why would this dude keep the fucking knife in the house? That can't be. There's no way in fuck. Well, why are killers so goddamn stupid these days? Blood is found on a damaged knife in Massachusetts house of missing Mama 3. Art swindler husband bought $450 of cleaning products from Home Depot day after she vanished and is arrested by cops for lying to them. Brian Walshe was seen crackling a smile as he was handcuffed in Cohasset. He was led out of the station as officers continued to search for Anna. Walshe was arraigned on charge of misleading police in court on Monday. He's accused of buying $450 worth of cleaning supplies on January 2nd. Yeah, ain't nobody buying $450 worth of cleaning supplies unless you got some shit to obviously clean up. And I don't know, unless it's professional, unless it's like a commercial clean, I don't understand why anybody would need that much, right? That's weird, right? It comes as cops removed items from the couple's home. It's been 8 days since Anna's disappearance. So there he is. He's arraigned. Look at him. He's there. Oh, God, she's definitely hot. But there he is. They were coming to get him. Look at the smile on his face. I ain't going to lie to you. He looks guilty to me. I mean, he might be smiling because he's not guilty, but $450. So they just sat him a $500,000 bail.
Bail is set at $500,000 cash, $5 million surety.
For what?
Can we get a 30-day date, Miss Minor, please?
For what?
What date would you like?
You tell me any date. He would be, we would do this by teleconference from the House of Correction.
$500,000 bail?
Richie, I want you to keep the,
Yeah, if I can
I
just
have a
look.
copy of the warrant, so keep that in the file, please.
Thank you.
They must think it's him.
The bail is set at $500,000 cash. You do have a right to appeal that bail to Superior Court. If you make this bail and get arrested or charged with any more offense while this case is pending, you could be held up to 90 days without bail. We're going to pick a conference date within 30 days.
Yeah.
Is Thursday, February 9th available?
February 9th?
February 9th is perfect.
Thank you.
February 9th.
Video minute, please.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So he's got to pay a $500,000 fucking bail? Like, hold on, what was his charges again? This motherfucker's got a $500,000 bail. That means he must report and go. Let me see. I don't think he bailed out. He was charged with fraud. Okay, we already did all that. Court documents show that he was wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and a cash purchase in the store. Okay, here we go. He claimed that he hadn't left the property after his wife, who was of Serbian descent. Okay, let's go ahead and read this for just a second. Brian Walshe grinned as he was led out of the police station while officers continued his search for his wife. This is after he was arrested for misleading. A court hearing detailed that he bought $450 worth of cleaning supplies from Home Depot while under surveillance on January 2nd. Why would he have been under surveillance on January 2nd? They also found, okay, I guess at Home Depot. They also found blood on a damaged knife as well in the basement of their Massachusetts home. Why in the fuck wouldn't this cocksucker get rid of the knife? Why are people so goddamn stupid these days? Like Brian Colbert, why is everybody so fucking stupid? Well, I'll tell you what. I promise to God, if it was me, you ain't catching me. I'm not bullshitting you. 99.5% of every bad thing I've ever done, I've never been caught for. I don't understand these fucking people. I don't understand how people are this goddamn dumb. Mother of three, Anna, has not been seen since she failed to get the flight. He's charged with misleading the police, with his statements causing a delay in the investigation. Authorities say it allowed him time to clean up evidence and dispose of it, with his bail being set at $500,000 in cash. Anna was reported missing to the police on January 4th by her employer in D.C. Goddamn, how the hell did he get that fine-ass wife? How the fuck did that happen? He claimed that he hadn't left the property after his wife, who was of Serbian descent, that's how he did it, went missing, but was seen on cameras buying hundreds of dollars worth of cleaning supplies. Prosecutors say that Walsh's statements, including claiming that he did not leave the house, delayed the investigation. Police searched the home, finding blood in the area of a basement before finding a damaged knife with blood on it. It is unclear who the blood belongs to, with prosecutors adding that Walshe bought himself time to either clean up evidence, dispose of evidence, and close on a day. But here's the thing. If he bought himself time, then why would the knife be there? Right? If that's what you're saying that it is. Surveillance footage from Home Depot proved that he was lying to officers, which showed him buying taps, mops, buckets, cloths, and various kinds of tape. Court documents show that he was wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and made a cash purchase in the store. Wonder why he was wearing gloves. It comes as cops remove items from the couple's home. We pretty much got all this. We know what he's been charged with in the past. That is crazy, is it not? And I ain't gonna lie to you, if this was a situation where she was like going to leave him, I kind of understand it, because that dude ain't gonna get nothing better than, she was a fucking dime. Let's just call it what it is. Husband of missing Massachusetts mother spotted driving as police return to couple's home and their children are removed. Brian Walsh appeared to be driving a red Volkswagen away from the home in Cohasset on Sunday. The couple's 3 children were taken away from the property in a gray Volvo. On Saturday, police drained the pool. So the children were taken away. That was him driving. So the kids were taken away, and it wasn't too long after this he was arrested. Of course, we already know about the police draining the pool. This is a insane story. So let's see where we're at right now. Okay, she goes missing on the 1st. Their old house gets burned down on the 6th. He lied, said he didn't left the house, but he spent $450 on cleaning supplies on the 2nd. There's a knife, a bloody knife that's kind of damaged in the basement they found. They drained the pool. He's arrested for misleading the police, $500,000 bail. Guys, right now, let's just call it what it is. It looks like the husband. Are we in agreement here? Let's do some speculating. It's not that hard to do. Right now, it looks like the husband, but let me also throw this monkey wrench in there, this Tyrone wrench. When it comes to the monkey wrench, why would he damage the old house? Why? Why would he damage the old house? Just curious. What would be the point, the principle? What would be the point in damaging the old house? This is the one reason why I'm kind of thinking maybe she left early on her emergency for work, because maybe she had a side piece. I'm just throwing it out there. Don't shoot the messenger. Maybe decide. Remember the last case we did when it comes to the middle class, not middle class, but suburban wife? And it ended up being like the handyman and shit? The little Mexican handyman? Do you guys remember that? It wasn't on this channel, I don't think. I think I did it on another one. And he stabbed her and put her in a fucking suitcase and shit? And carried it down the street? It's one of the two. My reasoning for believing it may be somebody else is the burning down of the old house. It makes sense if somebody thought she lived there. That wouldn't be the husband. Guys, let me know your comments in the comment section. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time with JB Gunner. We are going to be live at 1:30 on this channel. I'm going to get this to you. I love you guys. If you like what I do here and you want to support the channel, by all means, hit the links down below. Support the channel. Go check out my other channels as well. I'm going to get up out of here so I can get you this video. Peace out. I'm out.